Okay, I'm all set. You set, no?
Yeah,
Welcome everyone to another episode of Nerdistan, a podcast where we celebrate being weird and being nerds. I'm your host, Manoj Matthew, and joining me today is Jay Naya. The prodigal son returns after a week of not appearing in the podcast. He has returned, and I just want to start off by saying that my friend here has actually landed a placement in a very reputed company. So I just want to start off this podcast by saying congratulations, Jay. You made us all proud, and he's going off from this nerd world, guys.
yeah. Thank you so much, Manoj. Thank you so much. It's so good to be back. I can't even tell you, like the last time I missed postcard, I was really sad after hearing to you guys. It was like, oh shit, I should have been there, man. Like, it would have been
I
so
did
fun.
put
But
your
yeah,
face for like a brief instant.
yeah, I liked it. I liked
I'm
it.
like Jay. It's like Jay was like guest starring, in that, in
Yeah.
that episode. Last episode we had Nona Prince over, and we had a lot of fun. We talked about cricket. We talked about some of his crazy stories. You can check that out in the channel. From this week onwards, we're doing something different. We're doing two versions of the podcast. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you probably see a very abridged version of the podcast. It's going to be just 20 minutes long with some visual aids. But you can check out the full episode over at the audio versions, and that's available in multiple podcast platforms. It'll all be linked in the description. We're just trying something different. In today's episode, we'll be talking about a lot of topics. We'll be talking about Tom Cruise going to space. We'll be talking about WandaVision. We'll be talking about some DC news. Is Henry Cavill back? Is Henry Cavill not back? I've never seen people go this crazy before. But anyway, we're going to talk about a lot of news. And Jay, do you just want to give a teaser of what's to come
Yeah.
related to a specific piece of news?
So for those who are listening, we have this very key information about WandaVision for those who have watched the trailer and realize it's okay and it's good because it's a Marvel production basically. But there are some serious things going on. There was this Easter egg which was dropped in the trailer, and it is directly connected to bringing X-Men into Marvel. Yes, guys, they're actually trying to bring X-Men. So stick to the last two hints
See,
here
to
about
be
it.
honest, even I don't know what he's going to say about this. Like, even now, I was like shocked. I'm like, X-Men, wow. So we'll wait for that. We'll see that. We have saved that for the end. I mean, the
Yeah,
timestamps would be there, so you can go to the end if you
yeah.
want. Like, you have the ability to go to the future. Even we don't know what that timestamp is going to be like right now. But anyway, okay, so we'll start off with some very crazy news. Today's episode is going to be primarily news, a lot of news stuff. Anyway,
Yeah.
if you're listening to this in YouTube, be sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. Yeah, I mean, we're supposed to do that. It's required. Or YouTube, will block
Hmm.
us. That's not true. It's just a
Not
YouTube
the
thing to do.
beverage thumbs up, but
Yeah.
the thumbs up, like the
Yeah,
like button.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just be sure to hit that like button. Do subscribe to our channel. If you're listening to us in audio platforms like Spotify or Pocket Cast or Anchor or Google Podcast, do leave us a 5-star review. That helps us a lot. It really 5-star though. We only want 5 stars. I know this is not a 5-star podcast. Like it's nowhere close to being a 5-star rated podcast, but we are looking for 5-star ratings. We will pay you.
Again, not a chocolate 5-star, a 5-star rating.
That is true. Like, be Tarnadish, be Tarnadish, and give random 5 stars for movies. Do that for our podcast. Anyway, so we're going to start off with some crazy news. It's been reported that Tom Cruise is going to space to shoot his next film. And Jay, what are your thoughts on this? Tom Cruise is going to space. Like, it feels like the natural
Like
progression in many ways, but still.
exactly. I'm not even surprised. Basically it was supposed to go there.
Yeah.
Some year later. But the thing which surprised me the most, he's collaborating with Elon Musk
True, true,
and
true,
he's
true.
collaborating with NASA.
Yeah. So I'll just read the newspaper headline in Fox News.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm at Fox News, but I am apparently here. But Tom Cruise going to space in 2021 and to film a movie with help of Elon Musk's SpaceX space shuttle. And then it goes down to say that it'll be the biggest stunt ever. It's not connected to the Mission Impossible movies.
Yeah.
And Doug Lyman. I guess that's how we pronounce it. I'm so sorry, Doug. I know you're listening to this. I'm so sorry I mispronounced. Of course, he's listening to this. Like, but anyway, like he directed the Born Identity movies and also the Edge of Tomorrow movie, I guess, if I remember correctly. Doug Lyman.
Yeah.
Doug Lyman. Oh my God, that's going to be a nightmare for me now. But I think he was also attached to direct the Gambit movie, but that didn't really go anywhere. But anyway, like, tell me your thoughts, Jay. Tell me your thoughts on this big stunt.
See, like, if the first time the news broke out, I was like, okay, so they are doing this in Mission Impossible.
Hmm.
Then the news came out, no, they're doing this for a separate project.
Yeah,
And I was like, okay, so there is Top Gun,
yeah,
there is Mission Impossible, and then there is this one space
true.
movie. Like, I really want to know what's next for him. So basically, he has conquered the space.
Yeah.
What left is
Volcano.
fighting actual volcano fighting actual aliens and make a good mummy movie, as you said.
Yeah, that's beyond him. He can't make a good mummy movie. That's like absolutely beyond him. But I'm a little disappointed with the fact that this is not a Mission Impossible continuation because it felt like a natural progression because he was on a helicopter last time. So it's like
Yeah.
assuming one more space over and actually being in space, actually being in moon. Who knows?
True.
Maybe he might go to moon or like there's a full solar system to explore over there. So he might just go to different planets and that might be a series. Like they could have they can
True.
have like a movie set in different planets. Like you know what? Actually,
So
I
basically,
have a theory
yeah.
as to how this happened. So I guess Doug
Okay.
Lyman and they were probably discussing a new project, and they were probably with someone, maybe with Elon Musk, and they were probably having tea or something like. I don't know, like I don't know what Americans do, like, but they were probably just having brunch or something, and Doug Lyman was probably like, space. That scene, where I have a story and set in space. So obviously we won't be using practical effects for that. We would be
Yeah.
using a green screen. And Tom Cruise just looked at him and was like, aha, that laugh he does, Tom. The next thing Doug Lyman is like signing the papers to go to space. You're like, what the heck? What have I landed myself into? I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Like, I am 100% sure that. And Doug Lyman is just going with the ride. He doesn't really know what's happening. He's
Yeah.
just like, oh shit, I need to go to space now. But in all seriousness, I'm really looking forward to this. I think Doug Lyman is he's a very talented director, and I wonder if this has anything to do with the Edge of Tomorrow sequel. Like maybe they have because that movie had aliens, so maybe it's something related to
Yeah.
that. Who knows?
I like whatever it is, we are in for a treat, that's
Dude,
for sure.
it's completely, and I am
Yeah.
down for watching Tom Cruise trying to kill himself. Like he's been trying so many times, and I do hope that they take all the safety precautions. That was just a joke. Like
Arey,
he's,
like,
I mean,
yeah, like,
there have been many instances in the past. I think in film where stuff like this has gone wrong. You've
yeah,
had
yeah,
stuntmen get injured and people come really close to
true.
death and even dying. Like in sets like
Yeah,
this, and
yeah, it has
seeing a
happened before.
man really put himself in the edge of death
True.
throughout his movies, even in this age. I just hope that everything goes on safely. I hope Doug Lyman actually wants to do this and he's not forced against his will, like
Yeah.
the scenario I just described before. But look, I'm very excited to see this. Now let's head over to some DC news. So
Yeah,
so
bro.
there is a lot. Okay, so let's start with the big one. So a week back, I guess, a few days back, there was this news. I was the day before yesterday, I guess, if I'm saying accurately.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. 2 days back.
yeah. So what happened was there was news saying that Henry Cavill was back as Superman. Like he was back as Superman to shoot some new scenes for Zack Snyder's
Yeah.
Justice League. Then Collider came up with a report today saying that no, because apparently a few days back they had talked to Henry Cavill,
Yeah.
so they pulled Henry Cavill aside and they were like, "Are you shooting new scenes for Zack Snyder's Justice League?" And he was like, "No, no new scenes are going to be shot." So now there's
Yeah.
this whole debate going on, especially on Twitter, saying that you had all these people saying that hey, he's coming back. No, he's not coming back. Then people are saying the budget of this
Yeah.
Snyder cut is 70 million, and people you have
70 million,
yeah,
yeah.
and you have all the Snyder cut haters. I don't even say haters, but you have a lot of people saying that, oh man, like I thought the cut was done. Now, like what were you guys
Yeah,
like?
yeah.
The fans of the movement were saying that the cut is done. Now what's up with you? Just look how wrong you were. First of all, Even if Henry Cavill returns as Superman, and even if he doesn't for the
Yeah.
new reshoots, as they say, it's going to make no
Yeah.
difference to us, basically, because we won't be able to tell the difference. Like, there
Yeah.
is
Exactly.
90% of the footage which Zack Snyder shot was not shown in Joss Whedon's cut. So
Yeah.
even if they say that, hey, we shot some scenes, and they just show the movie, no one will say
Yeah.
that, oh, I wonder which scenes was shot afterwards. No one is going to care when the movie when the mini series
Yeah.
actually comes out. Okay. Secondly, does it really matter that the cut was finished then or the cut was finished now? Look, the
Yeah.
whole thing with Zack Snyder's Justice League, it has changed a lot. Because initially it was just this extended cut, which he was just trying to get it out. He had a lot of like visualizations like of the scenes to like sort of depict his cut. And he was trying to get that version out there. He was trying to tell his fans that I have this cut. This cut is ready. But now AT&T has totally changed the ball game. Like with HBO Max coming
Yeah.
in, and the movie has become a mini series. It's going to be a 4 episode mini series. A lot of the
Yeah.
deleted stuff is coming back, and as we all know, Zack Snyder's version even earlier was a much compromised version of what he was intending to do. So a lot of this changes.
Yeah.
It's not a exact science where you're like, this is how it was and it will stay the same even after years. Like, dude, Justice League
Yeah.
came out 3 years back. So much stuff has happened.
Yeah.
Like, 3 years back, Jeff Johns was on the top of the ladder, and now you have all these accusations being like sort of being leveled against him. A lot of which I think is true.
Yeah.
I know there's not a lot of evidence, but just seeing how Ray Fisher sort of like talking out against, and you
And
even
Jason Momoa
Jason
also
Momoa also
supported him like
joining
crazily.
him, and there are a lot of like reports saying that he's not the best man to work with. So you like
Yeah.
it's what I'm trying to say over here is, see, I'm trying to say that both sides of the movement are at fault. Okay,
Yeah.
people who prefer the Snyder Cut, who love the Snyder Cut, who are waiting anxiously for it, which include us also, like
Yeah.
in many
Yeah.
ways, and people who fought very hard for this cut. Just be happy that you're
Yeah.
getting this. See, whatever those reviewers, whatever those critics, whatever those people say, the bloggers or whoever it is, like, journalists apparently, like, these are like professional journalists who are like calling Zack Snyder a disgrace filmmaker and stuff like that. Obviously not directly, but in their words, you can sort of imply this. I
Yeah.
don't really understand what these people have against Zack Snyder, but look, that's a discussion for
Yeah.
another day. Like, I'm just saying that people at the Snyder Cut movie, just be happy that you're getting the Snyder Cut, and you're getting it in the
Yeah.
best possible way. Like, so much money
Yeah.
is being put into this, so much encouragement is there from HBO Max, and we're getting his complete true
Yeah.
version. Let's just be happy at that. And people who don't care about the Snyder Cut, just leave it. I mean, it's not for you, so you don't have
Yeah.
to. Why go on Twitter and say that, oh, they're wasting so much money on a cut like this? Who
Yeah.
cares? It's not your money. Like, HBO Max wants to spend this. And look, the way how I see it is, from a business standpoint for HBO Max, this is a completely new product. Like, they're not considering any of the
True.
older costs from what I'm considering. Like, for
Yeah.
them, this is a new product, and investing 70 million on a new product is not such a bad thing, because this is going to be a completely never
Yeah.
seen before product. And in their eyes, they're
Yeah.
getting a 70 million product that's probably worth 300 million, because a lot of the investment was made before. So they're getting a big, high
Probably. Yeah.
budget investment in actually lesser the money than your typical Game of Thrones or series like that.
Yeah.
So oh my god! Like, when I read all of this, I was like in a complete like frustrated point of view. I
Yeah.
was like, why are people debating so much over this? Like, why does it matter if the cut? If people are saying, "Oh, you said the cut was done," or now people are saying the cut isn't done. Learn to respect opinions. Learn to respect filmmakers'
Yeah.
vision. But Jay,
True.
do you have any like final thoughts on Zack Snyder's Justice League? On everything.
I'm excited for that, man. Like, I'm really hyped for it.
Even I'm really happy. I think it will release by September, from what I understand. So
Yeah.
it should be really good. Listeners of the show, if you thought that was a bit too heavy, we do apologize. Like some stuff had to be said, and I know like it makes no difference. We are like a channel with less than 130 subscribers, so it makes no
Yeah.
difference to what
Yeah.
we think. But I'm just saying that if we can think this logically, like we are nobodies in this world. Like if we can think this
Yeah.
logically, then why not other people? Like.
That's sad in a way, but we tend to look up at the brighter
Yeah.
side. So yeah.
Jay got plays, guys. Jay got plays. Happy news. Moving on to the
Yeah.
final piece of news today. And no, wait, we missed one news. I totally forgot. John Cena. John Cena is coming up with a new series. based on his Suicide Squad character, the Peacemaker. Now, I don't really know much about this, so I'm going to hand it over to Jay to sort of take over the floor over here.
Yeah.
That's no floor, that's just Google Meet. But
So basically, it's a standalone series announced by James Gunn a couple of days back on Twitter, and it's going to be, the story will revolve around Peacemaker, the character from the reboot of Suicide Squad. So basically, I also don't know much about it, but it's going to be an 8-episode action adventure comedy, which is scheduled to release on August next year,
okay.
which is like close, very close, you know.
Yeah, I guess
It
maybe
could
not a
be
lot
like,
of FX work might be there then. Or they are
yeah,
prepping for this for a
yeah,
long time, maybe, and they're only announcing
possible.
it.
So James Gunn is going to write most of the part and direct a couple of episodes, like, I guess basically like what Jon Favreau did with The Mandalorian.
Okay, true.
Yeah. So like I'm excited. Like I'm so happy. Like James Gunn is in his era right now. You know,
True,
like
true.
the thing, at least what we know from the promotional footage of Suicide Squad, what we get to know about Peacemaker is like he believes in peace so much that he's ready to kill for that. You know, it's like it's such an interesting character because the thought process he's carrying around all the time, it's like
True,
wrong. You know,
true.
to have peace, you are killing
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
Like I can't wait to see more of his ideology and like how he deals with circumstances around him. Like it's really cool to watch.
That's it for the DC news, I guess. Now, we can go
Yeah.
over to Marvel news. Marvel news, MC.
Yes.
MCU.
Yes.
MCU.
I've been waiting so long to talk about Marvel in this channel, you know. I'm so sad that 2020 is the only year in the last decade or so, like we won't be able to see any Marvel movie.
True.
Yeah.
That is.
But at least we get to see series WandaVision,
Yeah.
the trailer which dropped. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
a couple
And
of days
it's been
back, so-
viral. That trailer went completely viral.
Yeah.
So just giving a point of view, like not point of view. I don't really know the word I'm looking for. Just giving some context over here. So WandaVision is a Disney Plus series surrounding around the characters of Vision and Scarlet Witch, and it's basically, I have no idea what the premise is, but the trailer looked really trippy. And now I'll hand it over to Jay again to sort of give us some context over this series and MCU in general in the future. Go ahead, Jay. The floor. Not the floor, the podcast is all yours.
God. I have the spotlight on me. Let's go. Huh. When I watched the promo of WandaVision, like I knew that much that what's happening is the Scarlet Witch is basically manipulating her reality and trying to make a better future or a happy life for her. What she imagined would be if Vision was around. So basically she has kids and all that, and with a nice sitcom setup, you know. And one of the catchy things which I don't know how many of you noticed, in the promo they've actually shown the sitcom from 50s to like 2020, how the evolution goes. They have actually shown some footage in 4:3, which was the aspect ratio in the 70s and 80s, and they slightly for like today's time it's 16:9. So they have like, these are small details, but the thing which made me jump into excitement for this project was the fact that there was this Easter egg in the wine. There was this wine shot in which she was pouring wine into a glass. It was written House of M something. So there is House of M is basically a comic book storyline from 2005. So where it starts is there's this segment like a comic portion, Avengers Disassembled. So what happens is after like the Vision's dead, Scarlet Witch like subconsciously and without even knowing, she started creating her own world, you know, manipulating the reality, and she started built an android robot which looks like Vision. So after like some time, the Avengers basically tried to make her realize that this is not the reality, and she is all hallucinating and like making things on her own which would be harmful for her, because like it's basically a mental breakdown. So what happened in that, she fought some Avengers and even killed some of them during that battle. And in the end, in the comic, but like as in the movie franchise, it's not confirmed who the father is, but in the comics,
Magneto.
Yeah,
that I know.
Yeah. So Magneto saved Wanda at the very and she took her to Charles Xavier for like so that he could do her treatment and all. And then started the main storyline, that is the comic of House of Magneto. So basically it's that there Wanda realized that she wants to make a world where joy and happiness takes place, and she was fed up with all this world. So she created a world on her own. She changed every reality possible, and in that reality 50% of the population were mutants,
Okay.
and the mortals, which were like basically the humans, were suppressive.
Okay.
And the mutants were much powerful because like all her life she has shown like humans are like forcing people onto other, and basically like what happened with her and her brother. So and in that storyline,
So she doesn't try to bring her brother back. Like I don't think in the MCU.
yeah, no, he's alive. He's alive in that story.
Okay, but in the
comics. I
MCU
don't know
probably
how
no,
they
right?
will go.
Yeah, I don't think they got the actor.
Yeah.
So for Quicksilver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Silver Surfer. No,
Quicksilver.
not
Quicksilver.
Subway Surfer.
Quicksilver.
Quicksilver. I went to
Subway
Silver
Surfer.
Surfer to Subway Surfer. Great. So basically, everyone was living in their own desire. You know, like Steve Rogers were aging naturally and was living with her wife. Carol Danvers was this iconic figure which she always wanted. Peter Parker was living happily with Gwen Stacy. But what happens in that, you know, there started conflicts between these reality, because like it's not actually the truth. It's like her manipulation,
True,
basically.
true.
So there was this one character, Lila Miller, who was able to restore the memory of some of the superheroes.
Okay.
Then the battle started between these people, the Avengers, or like the superheroes who got their memory back. They started to fight back against Magneto and all, so that she could actually make things right, because this is not the right world. This is not the right place. And at the end of that storyline, no more mutants. There's this movement, no more mutants. She depowered 98% of the overall mutants.
Okay.
So basically, from billions to only thousands of mutants remain at the end of that storyline. So with that, this is the perfect opportunity for Marvel to bring the whole X-Men universe in that. You know, so because like the Wanda and Vision could end is directly related to the beginning of Doctor Strange, Multiverse into Madness, because we know that she's going to appear in that movie and she will be having a very pivotal role in that movie. And with Marvel, like Fox and Disney purchase, since Disney purchased Fox, we have been waiting patiently to watch Fantastic Four, Silver Surfer, Galactus, and the whole X-Men franchise.
Yeah.
This is the perfect opportunity to bring the whole mutant.
That is true. That is
storyline
true.
into
Like in
this
an
category.
organic way, basically. Like you know.
Yeah, and the fact that I didn't even realize that a thing this big could happen in a TV series. Like,
See, so I guess this
was
is
not
this is
expecting
more of this is going to be like a limited series. Like I don't see this going past season 1, right?
yeah. One
That's
season,
it. So
one
this is
season
more
only.
like an event, I would say, more than TV like series. Like it's like a huge Disney Plus event that's happening. Over
Yeah.
like I guess 13 hours. Like I think even when Kevin Feige sort of pitched it, he said that this is going to be like like 6-7 hour long movie. Like when he pitched the Disney Plus
Yeah.
show, so I can definitely see this happening there. So well, that's pretty exciting. I think Jay covered that pretty well.
Yeah.
Like all of this was new information to me. That's why I kept quiet and I was just listening to him with a lot of intent. Like,
Yeah.
and I think with that we have come to the end of this episode. Jay, we made it in quick time today, I think. So if you're watching this in YouTube, you're watching an abridged version of this podcast. It's just going to be 20 minutes long, and we're doing that on purpose because we feel like YouTube as a platform for a small channel like ours would be more beneficial for like smaller, shorter content. So, if you're watching this on YouTube, do be sure to hit that like button, do hit that subscribe button. Do let us know in the comment section what you think about this podcast. Do let us know more topics that we can cover in future episodes. You can also check us out on Instagram. The handle should be in the description. Everything should be in the description. If you're listening to us through the various podcast platforms, do leave us a 5-star review. It helps us a great deal, and it helps us stand out there. We're really trying to establish our identity as a podcast. So this would a 5-star review will really help us a lot. And I just want to conclude by saying that we live in pretty hard times now. It's we are losing a lot of like cherished people of this world we're also living in this very weird timeline of COVID-19 and just staying in your home. So these are not easy times for anyone. But I would just say just hold on there, be happy, try to spread positive thoughts with people, try to call your friends, try to stay connected with your family, and just live life to the best you can right now. Try to hold yourself together. That's what we all are trying to do. But anyway, with that, we are ending this podcast, guys. We'll see you next week. Do have a great weekend. Thanks, guys.